Hello and welcome into our Chicago studios. I'm Kara Lenz here with this week's Big Ten Wrestling Report. We all know that the conference in wrestling in the Big Ten is heavily competitive and stacked, and that couldn't be any more true in one particular weight class. We're going to take a look at the 149-pound weight class. Leading the way is Penn State's Zane Rutherford and Iowa's Brandon Sorensen. Both grapplers boast undefeated records, and if they meet at all this season, you would have to wait until the Big Ten Championships in March. Jake Suflon of Nebraska is seeded fourth, and he faces two-time defending Big Ten champion Jason Tsirtsis this Friday on BTN. And from our studios here in Chicago, we're just going to take a short trip all the way up Lake Michigan to Evanston, where Jason Tsirtsis joins us now on the campus of Northwestern University. And Jason, your team coming off a tough weekend, 2 Big Ten losses by a very narrow margin. Where's the focus and what's the level of energy like in the training room this week?
You know, I think the energy is, even though we came off those tough losses, I think the energy's high, and I think we recognize as a team that the possibilities and the expectations that we put on ourselves are attainable, even though we lost those matches. A couple things that go our way, we win those dual meets. So I think it allows our team to build off of that in a positive way and keep improving. Our coaches keep reiterating that the margin of error is razor thin, and we can't allow ourselves to make those little errors that make us lose those duels. And once we start making those changes, things should start looking in our direction a little bit more.
The Big Ten Conference is extremely competitive, as most of the nation knows. But if you specifically look at your weight class, it's heavily stacked with talented wrestlers in the Big Ten. Yeah. What's your assessment of 149?
149 in the Big Ten, it's really competitive. There's a lot of tough guys in my weight class. A lot of them are in the Big Ten Conference. So it's kind of exciting. It's always a tough tournament in the NCAAs, but that Big Ten tournament the week before, it's always a great primer for the NCAA tournament. And when you have probably out of the top 10, 5 of the guys are in the Big Ten Conference, that Big Ten tournament really helps you prepare for the NCAA grind. So it's tough. The January and February is tough for the Big Ten dual schedule, but it really helps you prepare for the NCAA tournament, which is ultimately the goal for everyone at the end of the year.
And a tournament where you had a lot of success in just your first year competing for Northwestern back in 2014. What's important when you go from season to season? And with your success you've had at NCAAs and winning the Big Ten championship 2 years in a row, in your junior season, what would you say is the biggest key to success in maintaining your endurance and your success throughout the season?
You know, I think it's just consistency with my training and believing in what I do. I think there's been a couple ups and downs this season so far, and it's been unorthodox in looking at what has happened the past 2 seasons, but at the same time, I'm confident with what I'm doing in the room and what I'm doing to put myself in the best situation in March. So having that success in the past really gives me that confidence, knowing that I'm doing the right things, and if I just keep pushing with what I'm doing, that eventually the success is going to be there, and I'm going to break through and have the success in March that I want. So,
big matchup with Nebraska's Jake Suflon this Friday. When you take a look at how he's done this season, what's your scouting report?
You know, he's a tough wrestler. He's going to wrestle for the whole match. I've wrestled him a couple times my freshman year. Last year he redshirted, so we didn't get a chance to wrestle. But I know he's going to come out. He's going to wrestle hard for 7 minutes, and that's the type of wrestler that I need to beat in March when I'm trying to attain my goals. So it's going to be a good match for the next month coming up, and win or lose, just take the positives and the negatives out of it and try to make myself a better wrestler for the next month or so.
All right, Jason, well, thank you so much for joining us here in the Big Ten Wrestling Report, and enjoy the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
As we're coming down the home stretch with the Big Ten championships just under a month away, lots of great wrestling action around the conference this weekend. Available streaming online through BTN Plus on BTN To Go are 4 different duels on Friday night, including newly ranked Purdue. Friday is capped off on BTN as Northwestern heads to Nebraska, and that is live at 9 p.m. Eastern. Top-ranked Penn State is in action Saturday hosting Michigan State. Catch it streaming online through BTN Plus on BTN To Go. And the weekend action wraps Sunday with Purdue welcoming Rutgers on BTN at noon, followed by Maryland hosting George Mason, which is available through BTN Plus on BTN To Go. That's going to do it for this week's Big Ten Wrestling Report. If you're on Twitter, make sure to tweet us or follow us at Wrestling on BTN.